everybody, it's me doing the stream again. Woo! And just me, because if you weren't here last week, it's a one person only kind of thing now. So let me fix this. Does that look okay? I think I'll try to put this in the middle. Sorry for the adjusting after starting it. So tonight we're gonna make udon. Looks good? Okay. Tonight we're gonna make udon noodles with a spicy bean sprout salad for the side dish. It should be pretty easy and straightforward. It's definitely a vegan, but maybe if you have some other common food allergies, maybe this isn't for you. It has like wheat and soy and mushrooms. Is mushrooms a common allergy? I don't know, but it has like all of those things, but it is delicious. So to get started, we are going to start cutting everything. I'm gonna get it out of the fridge and I'll walk us through the ingredients and then we'll go from there. So I'm going off screen and I'm coming around to the fridge and we're getting all this stuff. Okay. So to start, we are going to wash. So the bean sprout salad is like pretty straightforward. That's just bean sprouts with a sauce. And then we'll just do that right at the end. So most of this is going to be preparing the udon noodles. And we'll start by cutting all of the veggies. Yeah, so we're gonna wash them all first. I'm just gonna get out a colander. I think I'll just break these apart first. Usually, like with bok choy, like cabbage and stuff, it gets a lot of dirt in it. So I would say just like break it up, ruin the relationship, cause strife, emotional turmoil, and then wash them. Maybe twist off the bottom part too. So for the standard recipe size, we're gonna do 3 bok choys. In the recipe I had 8 baby bok choys, but these are pretty big sizes. So I don't know what the actual difference is. I have to admit though that David did come up with the title for this evening. I was really trying hard to come up with a pun and it wasn't working. So we'll wash these off, get all the dirt off of them, and we're going to do the same with the mushrooms. Sometimes I like to just give a little on the dirty part. We should put these in the salad spinner because salad spinners are way more fun. So I'm going to do some parkour on the countertops real quick. Because we store the salad spinner basically on the roof of the building. dumping these all in there. So we have that, and then I'll just use this colander for the mushrooms. So the recipe asks for about 100 grams of mushrooms, which from my guesstimations, I think is about half of these like bags that I get pretty much at all the Asian markets in town. So I think we'll just do about half a bag of that. And we also definitely want to wash all the mushrooms real good, get all of the nice mushroom stuff. There's some mushrooms. And then I'm going to wash my hands and clean the countertop once again. And I Lysoled everything before we started. Try to get it as soups clean, you know? I think that these bok choy ends would be a really good something to mix in if you are making your own vegetable broth. I always just freeze everything that I think will have good flavor, and then I just like I think I have a peanut butter jar actually that's been cleaned out back home, and so I'll just like stuff like, oop, God. I'll just stuff like celery ends and onion bits and stuff, and I think bok choy would probably be really tasty also. So, yeah, now we will cut it up. So, yeah. I wish that I was able to like come on here and be like, have you guys done anything crazy exciting? Let me tell you about this thing that I did this week. But the reality is nobody's doing anything if you can't tell. If you aren't, in the loop with things. There's not a lot going on. So it's kind of less exciting. I did build like half of a fence the other day. And I will continue it when it's not like super rainy. By the way, did people know that it's supposed to snow tonight/tomorrow? Because I'm really not like mentally prepared for that. I feel like it could be fun. Like I feel like maybe some beautiful snow would be nice, and it would make me feel less like I need to be outside right now. But yeah, it said like there was like a 70% chance. This is all just coming from KSDB, I don't really know. That when I was making the deliveries, I was listening on there, and they were saying like super high percentages for chance-wise of precipitation, but either rain or snow. But they said that we could get up to 1 inch of snow tomorrow, which is wild. So just beware if you look outside and you're like, oh, is it Christmas? Just think, no, it's post-Easter. So, yeah. Mushrooms. But yeah, I was building a fence, most of a fence, because we have all these chicks, and you did do that. Very exciting. That's true. It was my mom's birthday, and it was Easter, which I'm kind of blanking on what happened on Easter, but yeah, my mom's birthday was on Easter, so we had a big chat on Saturday, and we all ate different desserts over the group chat, which is fun. But yeah, now there's all of these, our chicks have basically just been running wild at this point. I'm actually not going to put these back in the dirty bowl. That's a really bad idea. They've been running wild outside, and also our chickens just like love nibbling on our sprouts that I planted of kale and spinach and radishes. Like much more so, like we definitely have a bunny in our yard, and it's been like, I don't even think it's the bunny, I think it's the chickens that are eating all of our sprouts. Oh my god. So yeah, I was building a fence with chicken wire and posts and stabbing a lot of the ground a lot. So I think, I'm just gonna kind of, I really don't know what the proper way to cut bok choy is, but I think that this seems like a good plan. I should have Googled what it was. Maybe cut it in half. I think that cutting in half would be good. And then you kind of get some like lettucey bits, and then maybe some more. This might be super not the right way to do it. I think it'll be okay. It said to cut them lengthwise, but again, like these bok choys are a little bit bigger, and I don't think that anyone wants to eat the full length of one of these big boys. It's not gonna be good. So yeah, but the fence was a lot of fun and a lot of work, and I did like most of it, and then I was like, okay, time to rest for a week from that. Just kidding, I will do it soon. But yeah, there's also apparently a nest with barred owls, or bird owl, I don't know, barred owls? That makes it sound like a bard, like a singer. I don't know types of owls actually. So yeah, I learned this week that apparently they'll just like decapitate chickens, which I did not know. They'll just like swing on by and be like, hey chicken, you have a head? Not anymore, I'll just take that from you and then let me eat you. So apparently we have that in our neighborhood, which is a little bit scary considering we have all these babies running around, but I'm sure that would be okay. I did get to see the nest in it. I don't know. I think I'm just outing myself as like not knowing anything about things like owls. Yeah. So they're a little nice, like. Does anybody know the plant pig squeak? Because I love that plant, and we have some in the gardens, like the K-State gardens, and when I worked there I used to love it because it like actually, if you like go over and you like do this to the leaf, It'll make like the sound of squeaking pigs. And it's really cute. They're so tiny. This is just making me feel like I'm like in VeggieTales. Actually, I feel like some baby bok choy would be a really cute VeggieTales character. Is that a VeggieTales character? I don't know. Someone should let me know if it is, because that's cute. I know that like there's the scallions. It's like a whole family and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know anything. What else have I been doing? I've been puzzling a lot. So much so that I noticed the other night when I like went to bed and I closed my eyes, all I was thinking of was like puzzle pieces just perfectly going in the right spots. Is anyone else in that mind frame? Because I totally am. So I'm like I want to say like 3/4 done with it. There's definitely still, this is the puzzle that David gave me, which is like actually much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, because it's pretty abstract because it's a painting. That's fun. But yeah, I've definitely been puzzling a lot. I haven't been reading as much, which is okay, but I should be reading more. And I did start watching Community again, which I know that last week we were on here talking about, which has been interesting because the last time I watched that show, I was probably like maybe 14. Larry's teacher, but also a secret superhero? Like from like the Larry Boy movie, whenever he fights the like Venus flytrap or whatever it is. Larry's teacher, but also a secret superhero. Larry Boy. That's a bop right there. That song is a bop. I don't have any recall of that. Is that when, wasn't there definitely like a scene of VeggieTales where they were like sumo wrestlers? I don't know. I did watch a lot of VeggieTales when I was a kid, so that would make sense. But I don't know. Until they got crappy. Hashtag bring back the old VeggieTales. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun.
What else have I done?
Not a whole lot. Really, that's incentive to do things, I feel like, during my week. So that when I do have to be on the stream, I can have something to talk about. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Thank you. Ooh. The bok choy also really smells nice, I gotta say. Love me some bok choy. I've pretty much stopped, well, that's not like fully true, but ideally, we're getting like a delivery from Dylan's tomorrow, and I've been trying, like, I didn't go to Dylan's at all for this recipe, and I think that maybe, at least for the time being, that's going to be the case. Just because I feel like there's a lot more people there. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, we also need to cut garlic. How could I forget about the precious little garlics? Oh my god, throwing that sponge out of the way. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, I got everything at Yee's. And then I tried to go to Asian Market, and Asian Market is like suddenly all shut down. Which apparently they might have had a case there, so I don't know, but Asian Market is a no-go. So I went to Yee's and got everything, which is awesome. But they have beautiful bok choy and other veggies there too. So yeah. Does anybody have any life questions they want to ask me so I could talk about it, or things that they want to talk about in the chat? Feel free to just like open up, just like talk about what you want to talk about. I've been playing Slay the Spire, which is a video game. I don't play video games, but I've been playing that video games and I still haven't won it. And Sweeney's gonna make fun of me forever because I haven't won it, and I have to win it in order to gain approval of people. But that's fun. That's a video game that I don't hate. Just kidding, they're fine. It's okay if they play video games. It's morally okay, I guess. We planted garlic actually at least 2 weeks ago, I think. Hasn't popped up yet. I don't know. I've only ever planted garlic in the fall actually, so I don't know how long for playing video games. Well, hey, you know what? Your choice to play RuneScape, like, that's your choice. I feel like I'm being attacked now. What was that? Oh, I've only ever planted garlic in like the fall, so I don't really know how long it's supposed to take to pop, you know what I'm saying? So I guess we'll have to see. Okay. So that's 3 cloves of garlic. Okay. So I think that what we're gonna do this evening, ordinarily, if it's not a choice, it's an addiction. Are you talking about RuneScape? I should stop, like, stopping my sentences halfway to read the chat. So if you're cooking this at home, I would suggest probably cooking it in, like, a large pot. That way you don't have to, like, saute the veggies, saute everything, and then, like, you know, dirty another pot. If you just get maybe like a standard pot size, and then you can saute everything, and then we're going to be putting it into bowls and then putting it back in once we have the soup. But for the purposes, I thought it would just be way easier if we got the griddle out, because then we can do the top-down view, and it actually really works with this recipe. So For that, I'm just gonna move this all over. I don't know what the best. Yeah, that's fine. If it's like halfway off the thing, it's fine. And we're gonna get the griddle out. And the griddle is not clean, so we're gonna clean the griddle. Yay! Because they always remind me of when I was a kid and my mom would like make pancakes or French toast or something, probably not at breakfast time, but like for dinner, and we have a griddle back home. This is actually bigger, but it's not like a bowl. Whoever used the griddle last, I'm firing them. From everything. No more. So I'm just going to turn the heat on and then we'll let this evaporate a little bit, I guess. I guess I could also just like dry it out. With like a towel. So ridiculous. It's already toasting up. Yeah, griddles are so fun though. Like, whatever. Who doesn't love a good griddle? Okay, so, you're gonna want it on like a nice medium high, and it recommended in the recipe to use a very light oil for sauteing this time. It'll be will be really light, and it'll be good for sauteing the stuff. What did I say before? I totally lost my train of thought. Just blend right in. So you're gonna do the mushrooms first. Let those get all yummy in there. Are people able to see the Nightbot message that just got posted? Because I don't know what that means.
Wow, okay.
I think it'll be fine though. Go check out our social medias. We have a YouTube channel now which has edited versions of the stream. And then we have, of course, our Instagram and our Facebook. And is there anything else? I don't think we have anything else. Our website, of course, but that's not really social media. Gotta do a got that nice sizzle. Actually, maybe let's supposed to pop up a list of our other social medias. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. Just check out our social medias. It's fun. I posted the recipes ahead of time on our Facebook as well as our group meet. So I think that'll make it a little bit easier for folks to, especially if they live out of town. I know we were talking about that last week, of being able to gather supplies so that you can cook alongside in another part of the world, which would be cool. So that should be on there for the weeks coming. I'm gonna try to get them all up there, hopefully by like Monday every week, so that people have enough time. I was a little bit slow to get that up this week. The 7-Up is required, yeah. What you want to do is you want to take one sip of 7-Up and then you just want to dump the rest of it into the soup. Just kidding, don't do that. It won't taste good, that's so silly. Whatever. Now, some folks might be wondering, Mary, is that all of the Winnie the Pooh characters on your dress? To which I say, no, it's only Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Tigger, but it's still a pretty awesome dress. It's like one of my favorite things I've ever gotten at Goodwill, which is like a long list of things. Honestly, I love getting some good stuff at Goodwill. I don't necessarily think that they're the most awesome company, but what company is, you know? So I'm just continually doing these. You just kind of want to get them until they're brown, nice and soft and ooey and gooey, nice mushy thing. No, what I discovered was that I don't want to go to the store, but I've noticed with being stuck at home more, like I've been craving like yummy drinks and I can't have them. But I live down the road from Yee's and they have a vending machine outside, so I can literally walk down and get a soda without having like any social interaction with people. And I've been like putting my hand in my sleeve pocket and like punching the vending machine thing. But they were like all out of like everything except for 7-Up. So hopefully they refill it soon, but I don't know. But yeah, gotta love Yee's. They also have cream soda, which I feel like is a really rare thing to see in a vending machine, but it's so good. They got a lot of unique picks. So yeah. Does anybody have any movie recommendations, particularly like available easily on Netflix or whatever? Because I really feel like I'm in a movie kind of mood and don't know what to watch. Although I will say I went on Netflix yesterday and there's like a... Matrix is required. For sure, Matrix, which I have not seen before in my life, because I'm not cool enough, I guess. Ooh, yeah. Check out these mushrooms. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna end up watching, like, Netflix trashy rom-com stuff. Just stuff. Although I don't know if I discussed it one of these weeks of like, I watched Valentine's Day, which I remember seeing parts of like a long time ago. And then I watched it and I was like, there's an absurd amount of like racial comedy or racial humor or whatever you want to say. I was surprised at the amount of like, I don't know, weird random racial references. I don't know, it just seemed really weird. Anyways,
maybe that's not fun and uplifting stream conversation. I don't know.
So these are getting pretty close, but we'll leave them on for a little bit longer. Trying to get them to their more raw side. This is probably not the best spoon, but oh well, you know. Hey, there's the social medias. I don't know if did you fix that, David? Very, very impressed. Way to go. That looks really good. Don't forget to check out our other social media. Yep. So once we're done with this, we're going to also stir fry the bok choy and the garlic together. Get those juices all melding up, and then after that we will put together the soup, which is pretty easy and should be fun, and then we'll do the salad. So all in all, like, you of course have to wait for the veggies to saute, but that's really like the most time consuming thing. This is a really easy recipe, I gotta say, as far as like effort required. I feel like it's pretty easy to put together. And also, I was surprised at like how terribly cold it was today. And yesterday when I was like deciding on this recipe, I was a little bit, was it yesterday or the day before? I'm not sure. But when I initially chose this recipe, I was like, oh, but it's so nice out. Like, when we gotta start transitioning into more like, you know, summertime, summertime things, which I guess will be more so when, like, you know, there's food available from our gardens and stuff. So I guess soup is still okay, but I am kind of glad now because coming outside today, it is pretty chilly. So I feel like that turned out okay. This is an okay recipe to choose. And who doesn't love some nice udon noodles? So I think that these are good. So I'm just going to scoop these out, and then we'll do the bok choy and garlic. And what you want to do is, after you have the mushrooms, just grab a bowl and just put them in the bowl. There's only absurdly large bowls available. So let's do... trying to think of what a better bowl size would be. It's a very specific and precise science behind this. And I guess there is this plastic one, but I always feel like it's gonna melt the plastic. And you know what, frankly, I'm using the big bowl because I like big metal bowls because they make me happy. And they just seem like something good is going to come out of them. You know? We're going to scoop these all up, put them in the bowl. I just don't really want the plastic to leak all its nasty old phthalates into my mushrooms. Like, think again, phthalates, you know? Back up. Watch out. Okay, so now we're going to take the garlic, sizzle it up. And then place all of the bok choy on there. And then what I'd recommend doing with stuff like bok choy when you're sauteing it, it might start to get stuck, and then you just want to add a little bit of water. So I'm just going to grab a cup of water so that we can really easily pour some on whenever we need some. Shoop! Oh my gosh, this smells so good though. This is going to be so delicious. Oh my god. Look at that. It is already getting really soft. I feel like I should turn it down, but this is like not even that high up. While we're waiting for that, one thing we can do is we can open the tofu. So for this, you're actually going to want soft tofu. It'll just melt right into the soup, go really well with it. And we're only going to use half, so you can save the other half and use it for something else. Or if I gave you the delivery, I already chopped it in half for you, so you don't get the other half. Of course, with the larger portion, just got a full block of tofu. What's up? I'm always a little bit terrified of just like slicing the tofu, just like the very edge of it off. It's not even that big of a deal. I do it all the time. I think that's why I'm scared of it. There is our half of a tofu block. I need to wash my hands. I feel like I haven't done that in a while. This bok choy is going to be amazing. I think a little bit more water would do it good. Cover it up for a minute just to get it real steamy. We're going to come and we're going to just cut our tofu into, I like decently small blocks. I feel like they're more, I don't know, food. They're just better for eating, better size for eating, right? I don't know. Have I, like in my life, what did I make the other day? I made some really good, I've been doing more tofu lately. I usually do not eat a whole lot of tofu just because it feels like it comes in a lot of packaging to me, but I don't know, things have kind of changed, I guess. So I've been doing a lot of like baked tofu in the oven. I say a lot, not really a lot, but with that, I've discovered that the secret is, wow, steamy, steamy. If you freeze tofu, have I talked about this on here before? I don't know, but if you freeze tofu, it like really airs it, like it. Once it thaws, a lot more of the liquid will drain out, and then it'll just be a lot more airy and less dense and kind of better tasting, and it'll also like absorb flavors much better, I think. So I've been doing a lot of baked tofu, which usually when I do that, I just get the tofu and then I thaw it out, and then I'll do some I'll put tamari on it, and then I'll sprinkle nutritional yeast and kind of cover it fully, and then I'll do a little bit of cornstarch also, which really helps with like the crunchiness of it, I think. And so yeah, those three, and then I can like saute veggies or do whatever, and then saute the veggies, and then like when it is done baking, just kind of add that, and then you can add sauces really easily to it. But it's nice and crunchy. It's not like limp, moist tofu, I guess. It is really good. Yeah, it's much more like, I don't know what you would call it. It's not meaty. I don't really like meaty tasting things, but it's much less like chewing on a block of tofu, I guess. So I think it's really good. Yeah. I think this bok choy is almost done. A little bit more water. Don't get crazy now. I don't know how, if I put 6 cups of water, I feel like it will not even barely cover the bottom of this. But we're gonna see, and if it's terrible, I might add more water, or I might just suck it up and put it on a pan on the stove. But I do think that this griddle is a really good idea as far as like visually. I don't know. What do you think, viewers? Does this look good? I feel like it's way better than carrying the camera. Griddles are so nice. Wow. Yeah. Way to go. Griddles. So let's see how much 6 cups really is. Because this griddle is pretty wide, and I feel like it might not even like cover the bottom very well for the soup. So let's see. This is 4 cups, and this is 3. still feel like it would be a little bit better if it was on the stovetop, so I'm just going to dump this water into the into a more conventional pan. But while we are here, we can kind of like, there's still some garlic on the bottom, maybe some stuff got stuck. You can kind of get that all in the water and then absorb the flavors. Oh, jeez. That was loud. I think that's much better. Got a little bit more depth going on for it now. So now we just want to put it on the stovetop and you're just going to set it to boil. Putting it on high, remembering to put a lid on that because if you don't put a lid on it, you'll just waste a lot of energy trying to heat it when it's not going to heat up. So yeah. So we can move this griddle back, I think. And wow, that's heating up. I think that we should get started on the bean sprout salad, which is pretty easy. So for that, you're just going to need some bean sprouts. I think the recipe has about 12 ounces, which I think is about this much bean sprouts. And we can make the sauce. If you got the delivery at home, I just made the sauce because it was going to be way easier to do that than try to individually package sesame oil and soy sauce and blah blah blah. So yeah, we are just going to whip that all together, and then I'll put another pot on to boil, which will be, once it boils, the bean sprouts will go in there for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then you just drain it, toss it with the sauce. Super easy, real good. So yeah, let me get another pot on to boil, and then we'll make the sauce. Why are you burning? Don't burn. Ugh. I think it's okay. I think something just fell in there. Woo! Okay, so sauce time. After I take a sip from this sponsored 7-Up, definitely. That was a joke. Listen, I wish 7-Up would give me money. I don't actually really wish that at all. Seems kind of weird. I don't know why they would give me money. Just living my life, you know. Wow. Isn't tofu kind of fun to play with? It's just so like squishy. Yeah, about that sauce. So this recipe, you're just gonna get a bowl out, and then Monster Energy like bottoms up, the devil laughs. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't mess with no monster energy. So, this is a pretty easy sauce. I don't think I've ever even had a monster. I don't think that's true. That's a really good opportunity for David. David definitely did. So the sauce is really easy. The one thing, I know sesame oil can be kind of expensive. Like this one bottle was $6.50. But other than that, this is a pretty easy recipe. The thing that makes the flavor for this is Japanese 7 spice, which I actually had to, let's see, can you see it on there? I went to Yee's today to find it, and I was asking them, and he was like, I don't even know what that is. I don't think we have it. But this literally just doesn't have the name on it. But thankfully when I was researching it, they had a picture and it was this exact bottle. So I was like, oh, okay, it is this. So yeah, so in this, it seems pretty good. It's got chili pepper, orange peel, black sesame seed, white sesame seed, Japanese pepper, ginger, and seaweed. So it's got a really nice like chili with kind of a seaweed flavor, which I usually don't like, but it was pretty good. So it's going to be 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Yeah, like you're just gonna like send a tweet and be like, hey, give me some monster. I want it. Give it to me. I think what a Sweeney is referencing though is that he told me that he knew someone who, so a teaspoon and a half of, well, we have liquid aminos, which is just gluten-free soy sauce, pure soy sauce, but soy sauce is fine, tamari is fine, all the same, depending on what you have. He knew a guy who was in one of his classes or groups or something who was sponsored by Monster and who would just ring Monster and be like, hey, drink this Monster. They only pay me in Monster a bunch if I talk about it on my social media. Which is pretty funny. But it is interesting like how common of a thing that is to just be like, hey, you have 1,000 followers or something. Ooh, it's boiling! Okay, we're gonna continue this in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna get let me finish doing the rest of this. I'm taking the lid off, this is taking way too long. So this is Japanese 7 spice, which has a really pretty fun texture. It has like black sesame seeds and white sesame seeds and all that. And then other than that, we'll come back to it, but it's just gonna be salt and pepper, so pretty easy. I'm gonna take this camera and we're gonna switch over to the other camera so we can look. Or actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So once it boils, you want to take it fully off heat, and then you're going to add a 1/4 cup of miso into it. So one thing that I learned upon researching this recipe was that you can't really properly cook miso, as in once you put it into water, you want to, like, it shouldn't be on the heat anymore, and it should just be like, you know, maybe if you shut off it'll be okay, but if you continue to cook the water, cook miso, it'll turn really bitter. So that's an important step to make it taste not terrible. So yeah, in this, we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of miso. Which looks like this. I mean, it's of course, if you go to any Japanese restaurant and you get miso soup, That's what this is. And yep, we're gonna do let me get Did I make enough noise there? Just kidding. So we're done with that much. And I think that should be close enough. I did get this whole second thing and I was like, oh, we're gonna use so much, but we didn't even open it. So if I need more, I can add that. And then I'm gonna take this camera. Let's start recording. Camera view, looking good. Okay, so we're gonna come over here and I'm gonna kind of loosen that a little bit. I think I might just have to suck it up and use the whisk. Can you see that? Because I'm definitely holding it under my chin. Oh, look. Ah! Oh my god, is everything okay? Is everything okay? I totally dropped it. Whoops! My bad. I hope everyone's okay. So we're just gonna get a whisk. This one. And kind of just sort of whisk this in until it melts. This is getting ready to boil pretty soon, so pretty soon we can put the bean sprouts into that. And this is almost ready. There we go. There you are. Delicious. So I think what we're gonna do now is I'll cut up the udon and we'll put everything in there and then we're gonna let it sit for a bit and let it heat through. So I'm gonna go back to the other camera. Hi. So we're gonna get 2 packs of udon noodles. I feel like udon is super great for if you don't have a lot of time, or you're really lazy, because they're already cooked. They just really need to be heated through, so it's super quick. The one thing with udon I would say is I bought these in a pack of 5, and I have been unsuccessful in finding like udon that has a sauce that doesn't have anchovies in it. So by buying them, you kind of are buying an animal product. You're buying fish. But if that wasn't, you know that. But it is, like you don't have to eat it. It's separate, so I just give it to my roommates. That's what we do. So we're gonna cook these about 1 to 2 minutes. And then we will add the rest of the veggies into it. So I'll just dump these in there. And the other pot is about to boil, so I will get out the bean sprouts and we'll put them in there to cook for a minute or two. This bag, it's quite large. I'm going to do about well, I think we should just do all of it and I'll just eat it. Thinking about how much sauce we made. So yeah, if you ordered it, actually, if you got the delivery at home, if you got the regular 1 to 2 meal size, I actually halved it because this is like a lot of bean sprouts for one person. And if you actually got the double larger portion, this is I gave you the standard like recipe. So if you're, which I should have mentioned earlier, but yeah. So we're gonna do all of these bean sprouts, which is quite a bit, and I'll switch it onto the other camera and then we can look at our miso as well. Got a nice shot of the $6.49 for sesame oil there. So we're taking the bean sprouts. I'm just gonna bring them over here. It's not fully boiling, but frankly I think it'll be fine. And we are going to and these only cook for 1 to 2 minutes, so it's really a quick and easy thing. We just want to get them soft, nice and soft. So we'll put that on there and cover it. And this is what our noodles are looking like. Still kind of just want to go through and loosen up the noodles. They'll all be bunched together. Just go through it. Make them more noodly. I get mad like flying spaghetti monster vibes with raw noodles though. I don't know. I think it's like the bumper stickers that people have of the flying spaghetti monster that just has those like nice and thick spaghetti. So yes, there we go. That should be pretty good. Cover that. And then we're just going to go over here. Get all of our delicious veggies and dump them in there as well. I was using my chin again. Let's start on in. Oh man, that looks really good. Smells good too. We're going to come over and we are going to add our tofu, which I'm just going to pick up. And I'll pick the rest up. Doop doop. We can kind of incorporate this too. I'm going to be pretty gentle because the tofu is quite soft. Because it's soft tofu. That's how that works. So you're all heat through and get warm up together. Checking on these guys. I think just a little, maybe about 45 seconds to a minute long, I think would be good, which means that it's a great time to really quickly finish up our sauce. So, so with this sauce, we already added the seven spice. So we're really just gonna want to go. I'm gonna get all of that out there. And I think about 1.5 teaspoons of salt and just pepper to taste, which I'm not gonna put a lot of pepper in. I don't know, folks who are really into the pepper life, you can put more pepper in it. You should live your best pepper life. Peeper, pepper, pooper, pepper. And then, because nothing really matters anymore, I'm just using the whisk that we use to dissolve the miso and incorporating this all together. And with that, we are ready to dump out the water and drain the bean sprouts. That's what I should have said. Really what I should have said. Ugh. Now there's some real scary sounds coming from the vent. But it's fine. I'm sure it's just lost souls or something. So I liked the idea of this bean sprout salad because I think you could really easily have it like on a side and not be, you know, mixed in with the soup, but also you could just like, oh, it's the rain? Oh dear. Whatever. So you could really easily like have it on the side as its own thing, but you could also just like put some on top of your soup. I know that sriracha or any hot sauce would be really good, and since this has the kind of spice, you could just put the bean sprouts on. I'll probably eat it separately just so I can make sure that they both taste good. Just kidding, I'm sure that they'll be delicious. And yeah, but do whatever you want. You're at home alone. Do whatever. So yeah, let me put the bean sprouts. I think I'm just gonna dump them back into this same pot and get a pot holder for it in case it's warm. Whoop. incorporate it all around. Ooh, it smells really good. It smells very sesame oil, which I love that smell. So, yeah. And actually, just for good measure, I might sprinkle a little bit more of this 7 spice onto it, just because I think it'll taste better that way. Yeah. So, once that's all incorporated, you just want to sprinkle this with some of the sesame seeds, and then you can also take some of the green onions and do a little bit of a garnish, which I will do in a moment once we plate everything up. So yeah, let me get the sesame seeds. Causing a mess, everything's fine. I like sesame seeds, so we're just gonna mix it all up. Ooh, that looks so fun. I love how sesame seeds are kind of just polka dots for food. Like, just have a little bit of pizzazz. So there is the bean sprout salad. Now I'm gonna check on the soup. And yeah, then we'll cut up some green onions and we will garnish it and plate it up, and look at how pretty it is. The soup looks phenomenal. I'm going to make sure I didn't forget anything. Nope. Yeah, we're good on the not forgetting anything front. So I'm going to take probably just one of these just to plate it up and wash it and cut it. I think that now's the time when, if you have any sort of announcements, things you want to tell everybody else about, moments of reflection, kind things to say, anything like that, like be thinking about what you want to say before the chat is over with. Or also recommendations. Me and David were discussing earlier potentially some other streams that we could do. I think that we'll still have this stream to do the weekly meal, but doing maybe some other things in the kitchen or just other streams in general. What do people want to see? If anything, you know? Now's when I need the like cool funky music to play to be like putting the food in bowls, putting the food in bowls, getting ready to eat the food 'cause it's so yummy. Putting the food, putting the food, putting the food in bowls. David, man of tarts, yes.
love the smell of sesame oil. It's so nice. I feel like the countertop's a little bit crazy right now, so I'm gonna try to maybe like that. We can have. I'm gonna record some of the plate. Ooh, wow. HD of bean sprout salad. Udon noodle soup. Honestly, this looks really good. I think that I'll take a bite of it before logging off, just so that everyone can, like, I guess, be jealous of me eating good food. No, just kidding. Also be present for, you know, what we worked on. So let me go back. And getting a nice spoon. That was completely just bok choy, but still good. You get one of the noodles. The noodles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really good. Very similar to just, like, you know, a miso soup, very light flavor. But really, I don't know, it just makes you feel kind of like light and happy, and yeah, I think that it would be great to make if you're sick, probably, if you can cook when you're sick, but like just something that it's really easy to put together and really delicious. So I'll try the bean sprout salad. Ooh, yeah. I had taken a bite of the Japanese 7 spice, but I was like, just as the sauce, like I just kind of whoop. This is really good. It has a really good like sweet and spicy kind of flavor, because I think that you can definitely taste the orange peel, which is cool, as well as the more spicy flavor. So this is really good. And this is also just like generally, I don't know, like this is such a meal that like you could eat a lot of, and you probably won't feel like, oh my god, I just ate so much food. Like it just feels really light and tasty. Okay. So with that, I think that we're done. If nobody else has anything else that they want to contribute or say in the group chat, I'm really appreciative of everyone tuning in. There's not really as much social interaction going on, so thank you for kind of almost sort of talking to me. That's nice. I mean, you are talking to me, but you know what I mean, not like the same. Yes, of course, we have, how do people get involved? How do people get involved if they weren't emailed about it? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, at 11 on Saturday, we're having an event to learn about edible plants in Kansas that you could easily forage, just like go outside and find. It's kind of in replacement because we were supposed to have the sustainability retreat, but we obviously are not doing that anymore. So in an effort to still kind of keep the mode alive, we will be having this event, which should be really great. I'm very excited for it. I love foraging edible native plants. It's going to be amazing. Everyone should definitely be there. The more the merrier, for sure. And I think that Christian, it seems like she's going to post it, so I don't, should I log off? I don't know. I'm just going to stand here and eat for a minute before logging off. This bean sprout, I feel like I could eat like so much of this. It's so good. Join the Zoom meeting. There we go. 11 a.m. on Saturday. Yeah, it should be a rocking good time. Talking about edible plants. So be there, be square. Yes, or you can email. I think this will the chat will disappear. So if you're interested, copy and paste it somewhere else reliable so that you can still get into the Zoom meeting. So yeah, I think with that, I'll give it 20 seconds in case people need to get that stuff. This is really good. Ow! Oh my god. I just bit the side of my mouth. Cheek. Yay, food! Okay. I want to say we're good. Thank you everyone for coming. It's great to hear from folks, and I hope that you continue to have a great rest of your week, great rest of your school semester, everything. So, bye! See you next week!